Thank you to Sonos for sponsoring this video. Hey everyone, Jonah Mathis here. So I'm in my new home finally. Took forever to get here and I've been doing a lot of renovations, as you can see with the mess in the background, but that's not what we're focused on today. Today we're looking at the Sonos Era 100. It's very similar to the Sonos One as far as how it can be used. You can use it by itself, you can put it into a stereo pair, or you can use it as a surround or set of surround speakers with a Sonos soundbar or connected to a Sonos amp. So very, very similar to how all of Sonos' speakers work currently, but reimagined, redesigned, new acoustics, and new look. So let's take a look at this thing. Let me grab the power cable out of here too. Okay, so this is the Sonos Era 100. You can see it kind of wraps around a bit, just like the Sonos One and One SL do. Simple power cable on the bottom. Even looks like there's a mounting ring now, or mounting hole. You typically need some specialized mount that's built specifically for it, but it's nice to see them finally include something like that. Right here we have a microphone switch if you want to switch the microphone off, and a USB-C input. So you can see the microphones on top here along with our touch capacitive buttons. I haven't tested this yet. I literally just unboxed it, so let's get this thing powered up and set up. As with all Sonos products, they're very, very easy to set up and configure. You plug it into power, open the Sonos app, and then it's basically easy going from there. Power cable's a little different as well, has a circular design rather than rectangular. Fits nice and it fits flush with the bottom as well, and the cable pokes out the back, so it's not annoying. Sonos has always been really good about their design with their power cables too. And while this is powering up, let's kind of compare this to the Sonos One. And this is actually the Sonos One SL, so it doesn't have any microphones on the top here. It's the same exact size as the Sonos One. Literally the only difference is no microphones. It's a bit more round. The Sonos Ones are a little more squarish with rounded corners, and this one's kind of like an oval. We can see that the grill wraps around to the sides on both of these as well. So as usual, Sonos has reimagined the speaker and they've designed it to provide a more room-filling sound, and in general, they want it to be a bit better than the Sonos One. You can see that with its design, and the acoustics on it are certainly going to be different as well. The price point is a bit different. So the Sonos Era 100 is going to be $249. So this thing should be powered on now. So let's get it set up and configured. So when you open the Sonos app, you should automatically see it pop up on screen if you have an existing system. If you don't, you may have to go through some additional configuration and whatnot. But Sonos app is always really simple and easy to use. It's never difficult to get something connected to your network and move it around to different rooms, update it, change the settings, etc. So right now it's saying the Era 100 will play a chime and an audio pin to temporarily connect my phone to it. There we are. So really simple. In the past, they've done the NFC where you just tap your phone on top of it and that connects it. Also in the past, you used to have to press the connect button. Looks like this one's a bit different. I like the little audio chime that makes it a bit easier to connect. You don't have to go up and press a button or anything. All right, now it's gonna update. These don't usually take long, it's just a few minutes. So I'll let this run through the update and then we'll continue. Just to go over some of the features that this thing has, because I kind of jotted off a few, but I want to make sure I get them all. So it actually does have Bluetooth connection, which is really, really awesome to see. We've kind of seen Sonos not be super pushy towards Bluetooth and really focus on Wi-Fi connectivity, which in general, Wi-Fi music streaming is far superior to Bluetooth. But not everyone wants to use Wi-Fi. Sometimes Bluetooth is a more convenient method for some people, so I completely understand that. So it's awesome to see Bluetooth enabled on this one. And then it also has USB-C connectivity. And like with a lot of other Sonos products, it has Trueplay tuning. So Trueplay tuning is the auto calibration where it's gonna change how the speaker sounds to better fit inside your room. So once you have it set in place, you run the Trueplay tuning process, and then that's gonna make it sound better for the room that it's in. So it's connected to my network now. Let's do a few quick music comparison tests. I'm gonna play some music that I won't be able to show because it's copyrighted, but I'll kind of test it for a few minutes, get some general thoughts, and I'll play some non-copyrighted music that you guys can actually listen to and maybe hear the difference. It's not the best to listen through it through the camera and all, but at least you can get a general understanding that they definitely do sound different. So what I'm doing to test here, and this actually is really convenient about Sonos, I've just grouped the kitchen and the office together. So the kitchen is the Sonos Era 100, and then the office is the Sonos One SL. So I can just group these rooms together, and then I can just mute and unmute them individually. That makes it really easy to just swap between, you know, how they're sounding. So I've been doing this for a little bit now. It's very, very clear that the Sonos Era 100 sounds way better. You know, it has a much deeper bass for sure. Now I'm in like my kitchen here, so there's a lot of walls and there's a lot of echo going on for sure, but this one definitely sounds like it is wider. It's giving off a wider soundstage in general. The treble seems to be pretty similar to each other. I can't notice like a big difference there. This one might be a little bit more clear. And then the mid-range is a lot more clear here. So overall, like, yes, it is a much better speaker, and with Sonos, you wouldn't expect them to put out a brand new speaker that doesn't sound as good or better than the previous model. Okay, now let's do the Trueplay tuning real quick, because I know I talked about that briefly, but I do want to show you exactly what that looks like. Oh, okay, so this is something I didn't know. So there's two different methods now. There's a quick tuning method, which I guess it's just measuring the room itself with the internal microphones, and then advanced tuning, which has been like the traditional method, where you basically, I have to take my phone out because they don't want a case on. Basically, you walk around the room with your phone, and it's measuring the audio from the speaker as you walk around the room to make adjustments and make it sound better for that room. So let's try this quick tuning process real quick to see what that does. All right, so saying make sure the room is quiet and the Era 100 is placed where you want it. Next, you'll hear a series of calibration sounds. So let's begin tuning now. Wow, that was fast. Let me do some more tests real quick and see if I notice any noticeable differences there. So after the quick tuning, noticeable difference. What I noticed mostly, the bass became a bit more clear, and then the really high end frequencies where they could have been a little tinny, with all of, there's literally, you know, granite countertops, wood, it's bouncing around everywhere. It quietened that down a little bit. So definitely makes it sound better, and that's a really convenient like tuning process, and I like it. Another really cool feature here is the slider for the volume. So instead of having on the previous one, you'd have to tap a bunch in order to change the volume level. On this one, you can just drag. You can also just hit play. So I have always loved the touch capacitive controls on these, and I think, you know, they're very convenient and they work very well. So I'm not sure how well that came across off of the lapel microphone that I'm wearing. I have another camera as well, so we'll see if, you know, that one picked it up any better. I wanted to add in a note here. The difference between what the microphone actually picked up and what it sounds like in person is pretty drastic. In person, the Era 100 is quite a bit more detailed in many different aspects and produces a much more clear sound. Very noticeable difference here, and I'm sure in a different room, after I do further testing, and I want to get another one of these as well to use as surround pair, do a stereo pair, try different placements, and do a full-blown review on this as well. You know, I haven't gotten a Sonos product yet that's disappointed me, where I wasn't happy with how it sounded or how it worked. They've always made good stuff. Overall, the Era 100 is a great step up from the Sonos One. As I've mentioned already, the mid-range is much more clear, the bass is more noticeable and punchier, and they added some really nice features like Bluetooth connectivity and an actual line in for those that want to connect to it with the cable. And like almost all of Sonos's products, it will fit nicely into my setup here in the near future. Again, thank you to Sonos for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.